Welcome to Happily Ever Afters, where love doesn't stop at romance. Join us as we share the tales of everyday magic and celebrate life's sweetest moments. Hear inspiring accounts of love, intimacy, and pure joy as we uncover the secrets behind true devotion and partnerships that really work. Brace yourself for a full-on heart melting. Here's your host, Carlos Clemente.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Happily Ever Afters. I'm your host, Carlos Clemente, and the wonderful, the super talented Dorothy Lucy.
Who are you talking about? Okay. Hi, everybody. Excited to chat with you guys.
All right. Today, our guests are Michelle and Jay Williams. Michelle is an accomplished author. She's a singer. She's just a roundabout talent. And she's written a great
Actress,
book.
evangelist.
Yeah. And Jay has his own network. He does gospel hip hop, which we'll get into that because some people go, what? You know, but he has a show on Sirius XM. So without further ado, Michelle and Jay Williams, how you doing? All right. You guys have got quite an interesting story. You want to kind of get into it for us a little bit so that we can learn a little bit about you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, so listen, I've been married to this guy. This year will make 20 years.
Congratulations.
Yes, 20 great years. We don't fight. We do not argue.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
No. With our fight, our biggest fight is that we have this motto that we say, if you what, baby?
If you ever try to outlove one another, you'll never fall out of love.
Ooh, okay.
And that's our biggest fight. So every day we try to outlove one another even the more. So I'll tell him, I do love you more. And he'll be like, no, you don't. I love you. And I'm like, come on, I love you. So that's our biggest argument. We do not fight. We talk about everything. And from my background, what I've come from, it opened up the door for me not to want to fight because my father was an alcoholic and he also suffered with PTSD. So I didn't want that for my family. I wanted to make sure that we were able to discuss anything that we needed to discuss without putting hands on one another, without screaming and hollering. I wanted everything to look different from what I grew up in.
That leads to your book. Nobody ever told me.
Yes.
All right. So what did they not tell you?
So, when you're born, you just think you're going to be born into this beautiful family and, you're going to get all the love that you ever needed. And you might even end up with a white picket fence. And that was just the opposite for me. I didn't experience the love that I needed. And I went on a journey of looking for love because of all the abuse that I suffered. And one of the things that I was lacking in that was I wanted the love of a man because I didn't get it from my father. I wanted the love of a man and I wanted true love. I didn't just want any kind of love. I wanted a real love that could sustain me and for my children. So when I met my husband, he literally just showed me something that I had never, ever experienced. And besides me meeting God, this is the only man out of all my years of survival that gave me the love and showed me what love really looked like. So my book, Nobody Ever Told Me, deals with a lot of abuse, a lot of darkness. But on a spectrum of that, I met someone that helped me see more of a light in life, that let me know that there is true light out there and there's true men out there and true men that know how to treat their families and how to treat their wives.
God, and as you well know, not everybody breaks that cycle.
Right. But you have to want to. You have to want to also. So what I did at the age of 30, I said, you know what? I'm not going to date. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to take out some me time. I took out a lot of me time. I began to learn about myself. And I began to love myself even the more. So by the time he came, it was easy to let him in, to allow him to love me, because I had put in the work to learn how to take care of myself first.
Jay,
Yes, sir.
you brought the light to this young woman. How did you do that? How did you know what to do?
Well, I think, well, first we brought the light to each other. And I think what it was by being a God-fearing man, first of all, being a man of integrity, second of all, played a major factor. We met at a church where I'm an ordained elder, she's an ordained evangelist and everything, but we came in with God leading the whole situation. So when everything happened, it wasn't like I went seeking for anybody right away. She wasn't looking for no one right away, but we were introduced to each other. And I was like, man, this woman is fun. But
Then you knew it was from God, right? You're
yes,
like,
I'm like, thank you, God. But when we met and where I was at in my life and where she was at in her life, I think we was both just at the same point where we both had the same desire, we had the same prayer. It was like, okay, God, we want something serious, we want something different, we want true love. Neither one of us is out here trying to just play games with nobody. We've been through all that already. And I just think the sincerity of everything. We started off as friends first before anything. So
Mhm.
coming in as friends for like at least 6, 7 months, everything about me she knows. Everything about her I know. So nobody can ever come back to her and say, "Did you know that he did this? Did you know?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I know about that." Well, did you know he did this?
Mhm.
Yeah, I already know that. So
Uh-huh.
everything was just laid on the table. So it just made it that much easier for us to move forward with everything. And again, with God at the head of it, it just made it, that much better.
well, which one of you kind of decided first that maybe you were more than friends?
I would say her. Nah. Nah,
All right, I'll
I
let
don't
you
know.
blame me. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nah, I would think. Nah, I would think. I would because, like I said, I know what I wanted and I knew what I was seeking for. And again, as a God-fearing man and being where I was and where I was going with God, I know the Bible always tells me that he that findeth a wife findeth a great thing and gaineth favor. So in order for me to be able to get all the favor that God had for me, I had to be able to find that wife and find my true soulmate. And I always tell him if I knew God could create this out of one rib, I would give him two or three. Yeah. Well,
Listen, I was the barbecue sauce on that rib.
Ooh.
So, Michelle, if you decided first, how did you kind of give him the hint?
Um, just basically being present, just being present in the moment, just knowing what I really wanted. And he's a very, very, oh my God, very good looking man. But I told
He's trying to
myself I
hide it
didn't
with the
just,
hat, but I can see that he is.
yes. And I said that I didn't want just a good looking man. I wanted a man that had a good heart. Because there's a lot of good looking guys out there and they play a lot of games. I didn't want that. So I looked beyond his looks and I watched how he treated all the kids that he worked with, because I work with children also. I watched the people that he worked with. I watched the people that he dealt with on an everyday basis. I just watched him overall over those months, as we were becoming friends, and I like what I saw. So I changed his name. I don't call him by his name. I call him my beautiful, because he's handsome on the outside, but his heart is so beautiful that all I can do is like look at him as like, man, you are just a beautiful soul. That's how I got to know like he was going to be good for me, because I needed someone that presented something beautiful and nothing that I had been through.
Now you both um, do music, all right? Gospel
Mhm,
hip hop,
mhm.
which is you need to explain that a little bit more for some people who don't understand that. But do you perform together at times, or what do you do?
No, she's actually a singer and just an amazing person all the way around. I have a venue called the Gospel Hip Hop Christian Hip Hop Hall of Fame, which is the only one in the world, literally. Um, and what happened was with that, few things happened. The 50th year hip hop, everybody honored the secular artists for secular hip hop. Nobody honored the genre of gospel hip hop artists. So I wanted to create an avenue and a lane for those, because I have the statement that if you won't let us in your lane, I'm going to create our own. So
Mhm.
with that, I came with the first and only gospel hip hop Christian hip hop Hall of Fame. Um, I don't do gospel hip hop. I promote gospel hip hop artists. So I have another event called the Gospel Hip Hop Awards. So people will see the BET Awards, they see all the other awards, but again, you never see nothing supporting the gospel genre of gospel hip hop. So I want to bring more awareness to that, because we're losing our young people to all kind of nonsense and silliness out here in the world. So I want the parents to realize that your kids could still listen to hip hop music, but with a greater message. All the kids don't have to be out here twerking and dancing and doing all this drug stuff, but still have something great where they can enjoy it. And so the
Right.
gospel genre of hip hop does just that. And so I want to bring more awareness and more attention to that genre of music for the young people and their parents to be like, okay, I know that artist, but I didn't know this was a thing. I'm like, yeah, it's real. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do with the gospel hip hop music in the industry.
Now you
And
talked
tell them
about
why you started it also too.
Yeah,
Tell
and
them about that.
I definitely started the Hall of Fame in honor of our son. His name was Day
Mhm.
Davon. Our son actually on yesterday made 2 years. Our son was shot and killed
oh, sorry to hear
Yeah.
that.
in Atlanta, and so I want to do something on the date that we buried my son. I want to do something different to flip the narrative of that date. So I opened up the Gospel Hip Hop Christian Hip Hop Hall of Fame in honor of our son, Davon. So we call him Dave Rose. So that was something really significant around him. Again, as a young man, being into the music, loving the industry. So I wanted to just do something different.
And you know, so many couples don't survive something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
there
we
a
know.
website? Is there a website for the Hall of Fame where people could look at it? Can you give us that?
Yes, sir. It's the GHHCHH Hall of Fame.com. The GHHCHH Hall of Fame.com. And they'll see all the inductees that we inducted in there the first year. They can actually go on each inductee's picture. Under it is all their social media sites. They can go on their Facebook. They go to their YouTube channels. They hear their music. They can check out everything about all these people that we inducted. And that's only the first year. So we're going to do another one probably next year as well for the second year.
Yeah.
You were talking about young people, and that's one thing that both of you are really involved with, and you're dealing with foster children. So
Mhm.
what do I want to say? What made you want to do that? My mother did that after all our kids. We all got out of
After
the
everybody
house.
was grown up.
And she said, and she took girls, and she got nope, not doing that anymore. So what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, baby.
Well, we've both been around children. Like my mother, in our home, my mom, and she always took in people, their families. Like we were a family at the time of six. She would take in people with six children and other people. Like we'd be laying in our bed and somebody's foot would be up, like, hey, who are you? Uh, we were always surrounded by people, kids, families, and I can say that's what my mom really left me was a heart for children. So when I met my husband, I was a choir director over the youth at the church. And it was funny because when we met, he was the choir director over the youth over at his church. And we brought all of our young kids together. And it's just like, we were just so family oriented. It's like, you just open up your door. So we went into foster care, and there's a lot of girls on my side and hardly any boys. So I said, well, what we're going to take boys, and we take these boys and give them what my husband has learned from his father, how to treat a woman, how to be a good man. And our motto for them is raising great men for society. So we kind of take the children that have like a lot of problems and they're therapeutic, and we take them and we change their lives around. So when they come to us, they, on one hand, if you read their bio, you'll look at them and say, wow, they need to be maybe put away in a group home or something. But then my husband will start training them. We'll start giving them love. We give them everything that they need. It's almost like Prego. It's in there. We give them everything that they need that's in there to create a great man for society. And I'm the only lady in the house, and there's 6 boys. My husband got them to where I don't carry my bag. I don't carry a bag. They don't go inside of the house until me, the lady, walks in first. Open up car doors for me. They rush to break their neck to get to that car door. I'm wondering if the car door going to survive, because the way that they're trying to get the door open just to put me in. But he teaches them everything because he had a great father who taught him how to be a great man. So now we are passing that down to the next generation. And how do we do that? We go back and we get the children that are maybe orphans or that are lost out there in the world. Maybe one of those children that could be at someone's door one day doing something that they have no business doing. We're helping break that cycle to create better men for society. So we've adopted 4 boys, not of the same family, just 4 different children. We're about to adopt another one probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And we continue to foster to change the lives of people, especially the way that I was brought up. I was brought up around a lot of good people, but I was not treated well myself. So I can see a lot of the signs in these children, why they act the way that they act, because I acted out when I was a child because I didn't get the things that I needed. So, it's a good thing to do on one hand. And I'm not going to lie and say that it's the best thing, because our children are grown. All of our children are grown. We could be living our best lives without, taking children in, but it's just something about the type of hearts that we have that we want to give back, and we want to see the world become a better place. And how do you do that? Sometimes you got to
best
sacrifice.
gift you could ever give another human being.
Mm-hmm. The sacrifice.
To take them in and treat them with kindness.
Sounds like you guys need to co-author a book here.
Yeah, there might be another book.
Yeah,
I agree.
What was that
Yeah,
title?
yeah.
You already have the title. You
Yeah.
said it just a minute ago. I said, that's a good title for the book. And both of you
Yeah.
should get together and write this book.
Yeah, because what you guys have taken on and what you've gone through, other couples don't survive that. And it seems like you've thrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really the mindset. It's really more of a mindset, and everything is based on how you deal with any situation. One thing my father always told me, like, of course you could be at a job and work this job 20, 30 years. If the boss come to you and say, we no longer need your services, it's up to you to make that. It's up to you to choose whether you're gonna go in there and flip out, tear up the place, do whatever, or you're gonna leave with integrity. And a lot of people that leave with integrity, the bosses will end up like, man, that's the worst mistake we ever made. We need to bring that person back. And then somebody else that came in there that never even deserved that spot or may deserve the spot over you can now be let go because they see the integrity and everything and the light that's inside of you that you represent. And so with these young boys that we do, we try to do stuff with them again because I realize how many young people, just especially in foster care, they already designed these kids to be locked up. They put them in certain schools where inside the alternative schools, they got these, when you're going into the building, it's like a buzzer you got to push. It's not a bell. It's like a buzzer like you going to jail. And then the classrooms have no doorknobs. It's like a door that locks in. They got a key to let the kids in the room. I'm like, what in the world? So it's like they're pretty much brainwashing these kids already. If you're a foster kid, your next stop is going to be in jail. You're going to be going from here to juvenile to jail. And so we try to give these kids a different option. Okay, maybe your parents didn't love you the way they wanted to. Maybe they couldn't love you the way they wanted to. Maybe they was dealing with different situations. We break things down to them and we show them different things that people deal with in life. And everything is not sweet. Everything is not good. You have some kids that can catch hold to what you're saying and can make that choice to turn around. And then some kids that just stuck on being the way that they are. So you can't change the world, but what we can do, every kid that left our house that didn't want to leave, once they were gone, they all called back. Every single one of them called back. Hey, Mom. Hey, Pop. How you guys doing? Hey, how you got? Yeah, we love you too, but no, you can't come back. So,
I'm in love
but
with both of you.
but that's the impact. So it shows the impact that we had on kids. Going from being in gangs to graduating, getting their own car detail shop. Going from being in
Yeah.
gangs and trying to be
Mhm.
tattoo thugs to being A students in class now. So it
Yeah.
shows the pattern that we're able to bless these kids with. So we're excited about that part.
You are saving the world, and not one kid at a time, 6 kids at a time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would you guys consider what you're doing now with these children together your happily ever afters moment? This is your purpose. This is what you fulfilled each other, and now you're taking your love and fulfilling others as well.
Yeah, that's one of the things I would say. I would say one of the achievements that would be a happily ever after. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It got me
I
to
just
think
And
on
each
that one.
other.
I just
Oh
be
yeah.
wondering. I be wondering if God is mad at us for something. Because it's like we get rid of kids and then more come. We get rid of them, then more. I'm like, man, God, what do we do? But
Like, God, where's Ashton at right now? Because this has got to be a joke, man. As soon
right,
as we think, oh, we're gonna leave and we're gonna go live our life and we're gonna go travel the world and we're gonna be child free,
they call
there's
with
like
more.
another 2 or 3 at the door. It's like,
And another one coming in 2 weeks, right?
Oh my God.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
now
Love
we know
you
what
both. God loves you.
now we know what your next project is. Is there anything that you'd like to let us know about for either one of you so people can follow, they can help support what you're doing?
Yeah, one of the things that I have is I have something called My Kind of Dad. And My Kind of Dad is what we do is we take care of the families of the incarcerated, the children and families of the incarcerated. I make 3-foot tall teddy bear balloons, and we get letters from the parents, and we give it to the children along with keepsake boxes. So when the balloon deflates or later on they need to read a letter, they need to, just touch bases with their parent that's not there, they can roll over in the middle of the night and open up that keepsake box and read the letter and soothe their broken heart that their parent is not there. You could find that on Instagram, My Kind of Dad. I just turned it into a 501c3 because I did have a balloon company, but I wanted to make that special. And the reason why I named it that was because, like I said, I never had my father's lap to sit on, or you know how dads caress their little girls. So when me and my husband we got together, I watched him how he worked with his children, how he worked with my children and all the children around him, and I was like, wow, if I ever had to have a dad again or live that experience again, you would be my kind of dad. And when I told him that, it was just like, wow, he's a really good guy. So I named that company My Kind of Dad. So yes, it's a beautiful thing to know that it's inspired by someone that I love, and it's helping the children and families of the incarcerated.
Jay?
That's why she called me daddy to this day.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah. And at least I get to sit on his lap, Big hugs.
Yeah. With me, I have a venue. It's the first and only gospel hip hop, Christian hip hop Hall of Fame in the world. We're located inside the new Black Wall Street in Stonecrest, Georgia, but we're looking for a bigger venue right now because we outgrown that spot that we were in. We have events again called the Gospel Hip Hop Awards. I have a network of 40 plus radio stations under me all over the world called Indie One Network, INDIEONE Network. You can check our website out as well, or just go to my website, which is thejwilliamsshow1.com, and you'll see a lot of my stuff on there. My Facebook page, J Williams 377. You'll see I'm nominated for several different awards right now, being honored as a trailblazer as well this year and more. So they can follow me on my social media, my website, and everything else.
Oh, thank you, guys. I mean,
Thank
you've
you.
been blessed, but you are such a blessing.
Well, it's
Oh,
a
thank
pleasure.
you.
and an honor
Thank
again.
you so much, Dorothy
Thank
and
you.
Carlos. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you
All right.
guys having
Yes.
us.
Hold on, I'm going to leave you
Thank
with
you.
one thought, though. All right,
Yeah.
this is something new I'm starting. All right, and this is for you too. Sometimes you can't explain what you see in a person. It's just the way they take you to a place where no one else can. I leave you with that today.
Oh,
Yeah. I love it.
All right.
Love
thank
it.
very
you so much for having us.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All right.
y'all.
That wraps up another edition of Happily Ever Afters with Carlos Clemente and Dorothy Lucy.
I just love talking to them.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. You can join us on UBN Geo Network, Apple TV. I think I saw us on Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
And we're on YouTube. So once again, thank you and good night.